Okay, Excel chapter 1, case problem number 1. Okay, we will copy Excel 1-2 into our working folder and then rename this file as trucking. Okay, and then open it. Okay, number 2. Okay, this one has a sheet 1. It looks like this. Okay. Okay, number 2, change the name of the sheet 1. So how do you change the worksheet name? Okay, double click the worksheet tab and then just type travel log, or you can and then click the main, any place in the main sheet, and or you can right click on the worksheet tab and rename. Right, and then worksheet 2, okay, click the worksheet 2 and then double click so that we can change the name into documentation. Documentation, enter. Number 3, in the documentation, enter your name. Okay, author is your name, so write your name, and then date is 9/ okay, let's say it is 29th, so you can make it date. Oh, this is automatically in date, right? Date. So if it's not this format, then use this short date. Did it say short date or long date? Okay, the date. Okay, current date, fine. Okay, number 4, go to the travel log worksheet, this one. Resize the column so that all the data is visible in the cell. Okay, okay, so in this case, if you see a column, this some information is not displayed enough. So in this case, you can double click the border, the right side border, then this will automatically expand so that the cell which has the longest content will be the width of this column. So even this one, right click and then double click on one side. So let's try all of them. Or you can do this way, select all the columns and then double click on one of the right sides. Okay, even this one. So as you see this, all the contents, so you can see all the contents in each cell. So all cells shows all the information. How about this one? Even this one. So double click the right side of each column, then this will automatically expand. Okay. All right. Okay, number 5, between odometer ending column and the hour column. So this is our, okay, let me zoom in. So this is, okay, H and I. So we want to insert a column between these two columns, H and I. So click the column I and then right click on this column. Then we can insert. So once you insert it, automatically a column is inserted right, before the selected column. Okay, and then type miles in I4. Okay, number 6. In the miles column, I5 to I25. So this is I5, this is I25. Enter formula to calculate the number of miles driven each day by subtracting. So we will enter a formula, so equal sign. So equal sign means, we're going to use a formula. So this time we will subtract, okay, subtract odometer beginning from odometer ending value. So I'm gonna subtract, okay, so enter equal sign, and then select, we will subtract, right? Subtract this one from this one. So H5 minus G5. So we just subtracted G5 from H5. Enter. So we will do this one for the rest of the cells, but this one takes time. So why don't we just use autofill? The autofill is hold down the lower right corner and then bring it down all the way here. Or you can just double click this. Double click lower right corner, then it automatically fills the difference. So actually this one copies the format. So the first one is 5, right? 5. So once you copy down, copy in the same column, copy formula in the same column, then the column number does not change. The column does not change, but the row number increases by 1. Okay, so the next, so this one will be 6 because the previous format was 5, row 5. So once it's copied down, then it becomes row 6. And then the next one is row 7, like this. Okay. Once I double click a cell, this one shows a format. So in this case, if you want to get out, press escape key. Okay, press escape key. If you click different place, then it changes. Different place, then it may not work correctly. So press escape if you want to cancel any job. Okay, that was number 6. Okay, number 7. Between price per gallon and the cell column, insert a new column. So click the column and then insert. So we have a new column right before the seller column. So N4, type total fuel purchase. Let's make it a little longer. Okay, and the number 8, in the total fuel column, okay, starting from N5 to N26, we will insert a formula to calculate the total amount. Okay, so this will be type equal sign, and this is the total amount spent on fuel each day by multiplying. So we want to multiply gallons value, this one, by the price per gallon value. So the gallon value is this, multiply by, so multiply is asterisk is in the 8, right? 8. So shift 8. And the price per gallon is M5. So you can click cell, or you can type the cell address and then enter. So just like what we did previously, you can use autofill to copy the formula of this one, of this format. Okay, and then B5. Okay, let's go to B5. Okay, B5 is days of driving. Okay, we will use count function to calculate the total number of driving days using the values in the date column. Okay, date columns is in the range D5, D25. D5, D25. So there are some numbers here. So we can use count, okay, count function. So equal sign count, and then open parenthesis, select the range from D5 to D16, D26, and then enter. So once you enter it, it counts the number of cells that contains these numbers, any numbers, and then it automatically closes the close parenthesis. Okay, B6. B6 is the number of hours of driving. Okay, hours of driving. Okay, we will use some function to calculate the total number of driving hours. So this one is in the range J5 to J25. So J5 to J25 is this one, right? Number of hours. So okay, click B6 and then equals sum. Okay, you can write equals sum parentheses, or you can use this sum button. Okay, sum, and then okay, the default is the cell above this selected cell. So B5 selected, but it doesn't matter. We want to select the different cells. So the cell will be J5 to J25. J5 to J25. So select this range, then automatically the selected range is displayed here. And then enter. So the total number of this is displayed. So once you select it, the sum is 156.75 here, right? Then we should have the same number here. Okay, B7, okay, average hours per day. So average hours per day is division, right? Division. So we will divide this by 21. So B7, okay, enter a formula that divides the hours of driving values by the days. So this will be equal to, select B5, not B5. So select B6, hours of driving divided by. Because divide by is this mark, okay? The slash. Slash means divide. So B6 divided by B5. So the value in the cell B6 is divided by the value in the cell B5. Okay. Then number 12, B9, okay, total expense. Okay, total expense is the sum. Okay, we will use a sum function to calculate the driver's total expenses. Okay, for the month, blah blah blah, and then non-adjacent. Okay, so in this case we will use sum function, and then we will select multiple ranges, non-adjacent ranges. So multiple cells. So click B9 and then use the sum function, and then we will select B5 to N5 to N25. Okay, and scroll it to the right. So N5 to N25, and then P, right? P5 to Q25. So in this case, hold down the control key. Hold down the control key, and then select the range B5, so P5 to Q25. So we selected multiple ranges. They are separated each other by holding down the control key, and then enter. So make sure the range is true. The range is correct. Hit enter. Okay, number 10, number 13. Okay, in the cell B10, total fuel expenses. Okay, same thing, the total. So we will use the sum function, and then the range will be N5 to N25. N5 to N25. So this is the total fuel purchase. Okay, and then the next cell is B11, other expenses. Okay, other expenses also we will use the sum function. And then this time, this will be the sum of P5 to Q25. P5 to Q25. Enter. Okay, so number 13. Okay, number 13, total gallons consumed. Total gallons consumed is also a sum function. Use a sum function to calculate the total gallons of gas the driver used during the month using this range. I accidentally closed this one, so okay, so The sum of we will select the range. So the range is L5 to L25. L5 to L25. So these are the total number of gallons. Total gallons of gas. Enter. Okay, and then total miles driven. Okay, the total miles driven is also sum. Range is I5 to I25. So sum, and then select the range I5 to I25. Enter. Okay, P15. Okay, miles per gallon. Okay, miles per gallon is total miles divided by the number of gallons, right? So in this case, we will use equal sign, and then total miles driven is B14. So we will divide B14 by slash select B13. Okay. So the miles per gallon is only a little over 5 miles per gallon. It's a lot, huh? It's a lot of gas. Okay, now B16, not B6, so B16. Okay, enter a formula that divides the total expense by the total miles driven. So this is equal to, so this cell should display the result of, so we will divide the total expense, B9. Total expense is B9. Not this one, B9, right? B9, total expense divided by B14, total miles driven. B14. Okay, so you spend, more than $5,000, and then the total miles driven is 8,000. Okay, so B9 divided by B14 to calculate the cost per mile. So the cost per mile is $67, 67 cents. All right, next, number 16. Okay, cross-state trucking wants to keep the cost of driving and delivering goods to less than 65 cents per mile. This one is over 65 cents, right? So if the cost per mile is greater than 65 cents, enter over budget in B4. So B4, summary is B4. So in this case, we will use if function so that the total cost per mile is greater than 60 cents, greater than 65 cents. Over budget will display here. If this amount is not greater than 65 cents, then this will display on budget, right? On budget. Okay, so we will use if function equals if parenthesis. As you know, there are 3 arguments, right? 3 arguments separated by comma. So the first one is logical test. So we will check the condition. So B4, B16. So the value in B16 is greater than, okay, this is greater than, the greater than the sign, right? So if B16 is greater than 65 cents, so 0.65, right? 65. Then what? If this is true, then we will display over budget. So over budget is a text, so that we have to use double quote. Okay, double quote over budget and then double quote. All right, and then if the condition is false, if the logical test is false, that means less than or equal to 65 cents, right? Then we will display on budget. So make sure this text is enclosed by double quotes, okay, double quotes. Enter. So over budget, this is greater than 65. So over budget is displayed here. Number 17, in A1. Okay, A1, select A1, select A1. Okay, if you made a mistake, then press escape key. Okay, A1, increase the font size to 28. Font size is 28. Okay, D3. Mileage table. Okay, D3 and L3. So move to the right. L3. So hold down the Control key and then select L3. Increase the font size to 18. So expense table and mileage table is increased. Okay, number 18, change the worksheet to landscape orientation. Landscape. So landscape is, click the layout tab, landscape. Okay, change this on landscape. Scale the printer so that the worksheet is scaled to 1 page by 1 page. So if you use a print, let's see the print. Okay, this one has 2 pages, right? 2 pages. So we want to show this one in 1 page. So actually this is 65%. Anyway, you can look at this. If you see this, here is a dotted line, right? Dotted line means there are 2 pages, page 1 and this page 2. So we want to show this in 1 page. So click scale to fit and then select this fit to 1 page. Should be 1 page wide by 1 tall. Let's make it a default. Oh, default is not this one. All right, we have to enter 1 and 1. 1 here, 1 here. Okay, so everything is in 1 page. And then actually this 39% reduced. 39% reduced. Very small. Okay, so or you can use this one. You can set this width and height 1 page and this one 1 page. So this one works same. Okay, we are done. Okay, I forgot the number 3. Okay, move the documentation sheet to the front of the workbook. So this is documentation. So I want to move this one to the front. So click this and hold it down. Okay, hold down this documentation tab and then drag it to the left of this travel log tab. So this is how you can change the order of tabs. Okay, so we have documentation tab first and then travel log sheet next. All right.